What's up, everyone? Coach Carlos here with Mackin and Strength. Today, we're going to go over one of the main lifts that we'll be performing on our workouts. And one of the main lifts is the barbell back squat. So I'm going to go over a few pointers so you guys can practice at home, or you can practice on your own, or watch the video as you're coming to class, so you guys can understand how to squat correctly. Maybe it'll help you with some technique. Might solve some issues for you that you might be wondering why it's affecting you. But other than that, let's get to it real quick. All right. First of all, you want to make sure that you are about shoulder width apart. Can you squat wide stance? Absolutely, you can. Right. It's just a little bit. It'll attack the muscles a little bit differently. But for the most part, when it comes to being a hybrid athlete, being a functional overall athlete, we want to squat a little bit wider than shoulder width apart. Toes slightly out. Make sure that your toes are gripping the floor. They're grabbing. So you want to pretend that your toes, your feet are hands, and they're grabbing onto the floor. If I flip the building over upside down, you're going to hang from your feet. So you got to make sure you're grabbing the floor at all times while you're doing your repetitions for the back squat. What that does, it prevents your feet from moving as you're going down. And you want to make sure you practice what we call the tripod. You got to put pressure on your toe, your pinky, and your heel. Okay, everything is centered. And what that does also, it allows you to torque your knees out so you can activate your abductors and your glutes. And that kind of opens up your hip as you come down. And it just gives you a much better, more effective squat, and you're able to go all the way down. If you have trouble going all the way down, more than likely, you probably have some tight ankles. You might have to stretch a little bit, or just work on technique. Another important thing is bracing. When you breathe, make sure you breathe through the stomach, right? Stomach should expand and then contract. You should not be breathing through your chest, stomach caving in. Stomach should be expanding, right? Creating intra-abdominal pressure as opposed to caving in and breathing through the chest, right? And then what that does, you lose stability on your spine, right? And it causes you to fall forward, and it can also hurt your lower back. That's true also for pretty much any lift. You want to brace through the stomach, not any big lift, brace through the stomach, and then tighten up, okay? Now, when you step up to the bar, the way that I like to do it, I like to put my thumbs right here on the outside of the knurl. I grab, and that's more or less where I want to be. I know I've seen a lot of people grabbing the bar here, grabbing the bar. A lot of times it's because they have a tight chest. But if you are functional and you have good mobility, you should be able to squat, right, with a relatively narrow stance grip, just slightly outside your shoulders, right, for maximum stability. All right. And so what you do is you go under the bar, get it nice and low, right like in the middle of your back, in line with your shoulders. You don't want to put it on the bone right here on the upper. I forgot what it's called. Right? You don't want it high on your neck. You want to make sure that it's nice on the upper middle trap. Raise your elbows. It should feel comfortable. It should feel like like the bar is resting on a table. I like to split my feet like this, one forward, one back, and then come up and step out. Other people like to squat under and then step back, okay? So it's up to you. It's a preference thing. Again, I like to come forward, step back, all right? And then I set myself up. Again, slightly wider than shoulder width apart, toes a little bit out, grip the floor, raise your elbows and pull the bar down so the bar doesn't move. You do not want to have your hands loose. I see a lot of people squatting and their hands are loose, or they're tight at the top, and as they go down, they loosen up. Now you have no control, you have no stability. So grab the bar, pull it down as if you're doing a lat pull down, okay? Torque your knees out, take a deep breath, brace, come down, drive through the middle, and extend completely at the top, right? Keep those elbows up, right? And always be slightly leaning forward, just a little bit, okay? So deep breath, squat down, come up, and stay in this position. Always bringing your elbows up. Every time you squat, take a deep breath, come down, come up, Never rush a lift. Don't be rushing, especially when you go heavy. Do not rush your lift. Take your time with it. It's a very complex lift, okay? Now, when you put the bar back, take a couple steps forward or as many steps as you need, and then you want to slam the bar. You don't want to aim and put it down slowly, trying to aim, right? Because if you miss, you're going to fall forward, you're going to drop the plates, etc. You want to slam it and drop it, okay? Don't be afraid of scratching the back part. It's perfectly okay. So again, a little bit shoulder width apart, torque those knees out, make sure you're grabbing the floor with your toes, deep breath, pull the bar down, keep the elbows up, stay in position, stay tight, drive, and that's how, those are some basics of how to squat, and make sure you try to obtain as much information about that you can when you come to a gym. Practice on your own. Try to get nice and low if you can. Open up those hips. Work on your mobility, flexibility. Push out with your knees. All right. All these things are going to help you develop a great squat. So thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in class.